Hello, I'm Annie Sloan.
And I'm Tristan Merriam.
And this is The Colourist,
the podcast that showcases the power of colour and how it brings joy into our homes.
Join us as we explore significant artists, designers and influential people, linking the past to the present and giving you the confidence to paint everything.
Well, maybe not everything.
Okay, let's explain.
Today we are talking magical creations, pink castles, talking sofas and merging fact and fantasy. Only on the Colourist podcast, is that correct?
Only, yeah.
Only. Explain more. What are we doing today?
Well, we're talking about the amazing Walt Disney and his grand tour of Europe in the 30s, mid-30s, and how that he brought back all these ideas. And this was from, I got to really know about it when I was at art school, and people were saying, look at the early drawings that Walt Disney, him and his team did. I don't know how much he did, but his team did it. And we were like, oh, God, these are really, really good drawings. So I've always had an eye and an ear out for it, although I'm not a great Disney fan. I know.
What? What did she just say? Oh, my gosh. We can't be friends. Oh. Well, we'll get on to your favourite Disney film.
I've got some.
Okay, we will go there.
Anyway, in 2022, there was an amazing exhibition at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York, and it was about Walt Disney and the influence of European art on his cartoons.
I mean,
or films.
if that doesn't inspire you to listen on, I don't know what does. To me, this is really exciting as a topic. I think it's amazing. The more research you do, the more you see it, and you see the references, and we're going to be explaining a lot more to do with it. So before we get into it, we need to really cover the basics. We're talking about Walt Disney. Yeah. When did he live? When was he most known for his works? What was his time?
Okay, I'm going to have to look this up because I'm, as you know, I'm not the greatest on dates. I have to remember. So Walt Disney was born in America in 1901, so right at the beginning of the 20th century. He died in 1966, and in 1935, he and his brother Roy, who they worked together, particularly at the beginning, and they had a grand tour with their wives around Europe, meaning England and Scotland, France, Italy, Germany and Switzerland, so all of those countries. Did I say Italy?
I think that was all of them, yes.
Italy. So they did all those countries and they visited various places. And it was a huge, huge impact on him. And I think that's fascinating because that's where he got inspiration. I've always said, people say, where do you get your inspiration from? And I say art. And I think people would be amazed that Walt Disney and the Disney cartoons at their finest have got real strength and ideas. I feel slightly too saccharine these days, but the early ones I think are brilliant.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And most families, most people have seen Disney films in their time. Even if they don't realise the inspiration behind it, they're looking at art. They're looking at this period in history, which brings me on to my next question. That's Walt Disney's period in time. Yes. We are also referring to a period in time that he was inspired by, which we're referring to the Rococo period. Yeah. So when is that period, roughly?
18th century. We just broadly say 18th century. That's sort of 17-something onwards. Mm-hmm. And some of it is quite Baroque, meaning that it's a little bit heavier and bolder and a bit more, can I just say big?
Mm-hmm.
And then as it goes on, it gets more pretty and curly-whirly and Versailles and all of that. So it's all of that. And he went to Germany as well as France and Italy. So it's a big combination of all of that.
And many of his films captured this aesthetic brilliantly. I mean, some like-for-like imagery is pretty much identical. It's clearly a direct inspiration. Yeah. So was this all of his films, some of his films? Is there a really one film in particular that, if somebody wants to sort of look it up, that really captures this?
Well, I would say Beauty and the Beast Snow White. I think he was actually doing Snow White when he decided to go off to Europe, probably looking for inspiration.
Absolutely. Field trip.
For me, Sorcerer's Apprentice, because I remember watching and seeing things come to life, and that they were clocks and all sorts of things, and rather beautiful pieces, and kitchen equipment and
absolutely, especially
pots.
Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, and Beauty and the Beast.
Oh my gosh,
amazing.
One of my fondest memories from growing up, having the Disney films on VHS.
Yeah.
And Beauty and the Beast, Snow White, Cinderella, all of
Cinderella
those ones.
That's a good one.
And you've got the characters like Lumiere, Cogsworth, Mrs. Potts, and they've all been inspired by objects or furniture.
Yeah.
Especially the whimsical kind of stuff.
Do you know even Dumbo?
Dumbo?
Even Dumbo. I'll show. There's an elephant, which I'm going to. A couple of elephants.
I know. I know the image you're talking about. Amazing.
It's amazing.
He was clearly very, very inspired by this period in time.
He must have been.
And is that so? He was in America.
Yeah.
Do you think? What was he used to? What was the style before he was introduced to this style? What was he used to? What was it like in America for him?
I think that you might have had some. I suppose he was in Hollywood area, so he probably might have seen some extremely smart modern houses. But I think it would have been quite pared back and simple. It would have been the farmhouse look. It would be just classic interiors, probably quite British ideas. I don't think it would have been any strong style. You might have got a little bit of extra modern, but a little bit of not even Hollywood at that point.
No,
they're quite simple. And
the style he saw and loved and was inspired. Let's give people some imagery to really get this in people's minds. If you're not looking at something right now and searching, give me some words. Let's describe this style.
Well, there's a couple of people that I think would have been really so a lot of porcelain. So porcelain figures like Sèvres, Sevres, Sèvres, and Meissen, Meisssen. Meissen is German, Sèvres is French, and he would have probably gone to the art galleries. He would have seen the extraordinary things. So the very pretty, often a man and a woman sitting together, and she would be in her crinoline dress and her little powder puffed wig, and he would be similar, only wearing doublet and hose and all of that stuff. I mean, very beautiful, and they rather look like ballet dancers, and very beautifully coiffed and
good
coloured.
Word, yes,
coiffed.
yes.
Little pink cheeks, all very delicate, and they might be sitting at a table and having a cup of tea, and it's all very
lovely, isn't it?
It's all very lovely. And there would be other pieces which would be quite strong colours, but quite like a coffee pot rather. And some of those coffee pots would have actually have 2 elephant heads at the top. I mean, to me, when you think about it and talk about it, it sounds gross and actually quite surrealistic.
Yes.
But they loved it. And the colours are glorious, absolutely glorious. And if anything I take from that has always been the colours. They're just beautiful.
And he was inspired by the architecture as well in these places. So he visited many castles, which inspired the fairy tale castle look.
So if you go to somewhere in Bavaria, and it's Neuschwanstein.
Great pronunciation. Hard to spell, though. I won't ask you to spell it.
Schloss Neuschwanstein. Oh, now I've lost it.
Oh, it was so good.
That is what you would think of as a fairy tale castle.
Completely. I mean, the Disney castle, literally.
It is, yeah. It's not a castle with turrets and made of heavy stone. It's white. It's on a hill. It's very pointy turrets, but pretty. And it's just one turret and another. It's not built as a fortress.
No.
That is not...
Yes, not that type of castle. No. This is a fairy tale, what we would assume, fairy tale castle.
This is dreamy.
Yes.
Very dreamy. And fantasy.
And fancy.
And if you went inside, it would be full of gorgeous things too.
Next question.
Swans.
Yes,
and,
more about that.
Yeah, so I went there and I just thought it was amazing.
So there's lots of gilding.
Yes.
It's elegant, it's ornamental, it's very curved and soft. Lots of Louis XV style.
Louis XV, yes. And it's a little neoclassical. It's a little where you've got imagery which is quite... going back in time to sort of Greek and Egyptian, but made more fantasy.
Yes, but I suppose that's what it was in Europe. There's many inspirations there, and lots of decorative mouldings and curvature. Yeah. So did he then, in a way, to most people in America, kind of introduce this whole style? Apart from the people that might have travelled there on their own, do you think this was a real movement in terms of in American interior design and knowledge about this sort of thing?
I would judge that many people didn't get to see, especially then, any art galleries, didn't go to art galleries, didn't see much art, wouldn't have seen, they're probably, the beginning in the 30s. It's early days in America. Not that early, but I don't think there was a lot of art museums. Now, I mean, America has the most wonderful art museums, but I don't think art was elevated as something that you would see all the time. And architecture was often quite 30s and simple, and very practical buildings. So, unlike in Europe, where we see lots and lots of beautiful old buildings with curly cues and all sorts of things, there wouldn't have been much of that. So I think this, for the average American, this would have been just magical.
Yeah, and very educational.
Very educational.
Like, he really was educating, even if people didn't really realise it, just by watching Beauty and the Beast and being exposed to that. Yeah.
Well, you and I loved it too.
Absolutely. The amount of times I've paused films with my children, Frozen being the most sort of recent, I suppose, before doing this podcast, by the way, just being inspired by the interior design, the architecture, the patterns on the walls, whatever it is, something caught my eye. Yeah. And now I've obviously, through doing this, learnt more about that. But very inspiring.
So I, as a small child in Australia, and I only went a few times to the cinema because I was very, very, very scared of it. Very scared. I saw Switzerland for the first time.
Exactly.
Because Snow White, to me, was Switzerland. I don't know where I connected it to. Oh, I had a book about Heidi. She was in Switzerland.
Yes.
So it did connect up for me.
But this is to a whole new level.
Whole new level.
This is more visual than the storybooks, in a way.
Yes, and so I saw these little dresses with all the little curls on them, scallops and gingham and, the whole thing. And, chairs, often with a cutout heart in the background of it, in the back of the chair. Mm-hmm. So lots of things there which were very Swiss and I hadn't seen anywhere. So you are hugely educated.
Absolutely. Now we are going to, after the break, move on to your colours and linking it more to colour and also talking about how it's relevant now, today, which I think is a really interesting topic of conversation. Before we do that, I would like to know, there's one image we found when we were researching, which was a very famous painting that has been used in again. Two films. Yeah. Well, two of Walt Disney's films, one being Frozen most recently, and the other, was it Tangled? Tangled. What is that image, if people want to look that up?
So if you learn, the first thing you have, when you learn about the Rococo age and painting, the person that will be first of all shown to you is an artist called Fragonard, Fragonard, and he's French, and he did a very provocative, very beautiful painting of a girl on a swing, and there's a man pushing her. She's in a woodland with this big long swing, and she's there in her beautiful crinoline dress with her leg up in the air and one leg.
Oh, I say.
It's quite provocative.
Yes.
I think there's a man in front, there's a man behind,
oh, gosh.
and purely innocent.
Yes, of course.
And there was an element of playfulness.
Yes, risque.
Yeah, so. And it's all in very soft and dreamy colours, and this is a very, very famous image of the Rococo era.
Brilliant.
There are other ones which I adore as well. So he's.
And if you research it, and we'll try and show you on this through the imagery, the direct comparisons, and it is amazing.
The direct, exactly.
So there's colour influence, style, the whole vibe is copied.
Pretty sort of misty colours, pastels, playful, dreamlike. Really
I find it so inspiring.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a little break, and then when we come back, we will talk more about those colours as well as the style, and really unpick how it can be used today, if it can be used today.
Yeah.
See you in a sec.
Hi, I'm Annie Sloan, and I'm the inventor of chalk paint. Chalk paint is an easy-to-use decorative paint made in Oxford in the UK. Join the movement. Get painting. Change your life. It goes on any surface, including wood, metal, glass and laminate, and is great for upcycling furniture. No sanding, no priming is needed. Just open the can and get painting. There are over 50 beautiful colours to choose from, and they're available from my stockists worldwide or anniesloan.com. Get ready to paint everything!
Welcome back. We have had a little break, been discussing things behind the scenes, and now I would like to ask you about colour. We've given people an idea of the mood and the whole ambience of this style. What about colour? Are there too many colours to name here?
Well, they are. There's a lot of colours, of course, but I think there are several colours which you see again and again and again, and it's what I've always been attracted to. So you get some Sevres colours which are beautiful. There's a gorgeous pink. There's a gorgeous sort of corally colour. There's a bright, in Meissen tends to be a slightly more strong, vibrant. So there's a sort of Florence. There's a lot of purple throughout all of the work, whether it's Meissen or Sevres. There is a purple.
And you have two purples?
I've got two purples. And there's also lots and lots and lots of gold. I mean,
yes.
Loads.
Loads.
Yeah. So I'm looking at a piece now, which is a candelabra for the wall, a wall sconce really, and it is lots of gold, with little bits of Florence, lines and curly cues. It's got 3 candles, sticks, and just these arms which come out, which are gold and white. And
lots of white.
Green, a lot of white.
White and gold,
quite clean.
2 colours for Rococo.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole style, especially of Disney films, it's so opulent. It's so fancy.
Very fancy.
It's a hard thing to really replicate in the average person's house, unless you live in a fairy tale castle in Switzerland.
Yes.
It's a very tricky thing. And we were this is what we were chatting about earlier, is how do people have this in their homes if it is a fairly normal house?
Yes.
So what do you think the answer is to that?
So I don't have anything like that in this house. I'm very lucky, as you know. I've got a house in France. I've had it for a very long time. And I haven't got it really there, but I have a little bit. And what I've done there is age it a lot. So if there was some gold, I would rub it back and make it look really quite old. That's really way shabby.
Because without doing that, you could be in danger of making it look a bit too kind of...
It would just be too garish.
Yes.
I think garish, if the colours are soft, they look a bit saccharine, meaning a little bit pretend sweet. It's not good. It's a little bit too sugary. For my tastes, we're all different. But for my taste, it's too sugary, sweet, and not real. It's too manufactured. It's too...
Well, it's sort of too Disney.
Synthetic and too Disney,
It's a bit... You're trying...
Yeah. It's synthetic. So I want to refer to where Disney came from, and that's better. So you don't go Rococo Disney and then because that's you've got too far away from the original source. I think you've got to stick to the original source,
which is Rococo.
Look at Meissen. Look at Sèvres, and look at statues, look at their wall sconces. Google it, you will find some wonderful, wonderful images. And I think from there go, and you'll get little dots and spots and rows of pearls and all sorts of lovely stuff.
And then you can take it as far as you like.
Yeah,
but in terms of subtle ways of adding this sort of vibe into your home, mirrors... often quite ornate, even in very simple houses. You'll often see people that have quite fancy mirrors.
Absolutely.
Keep saying fancy, I need a new word.
Well, I think opulent
and
decorative. I'm just thinking, I've got one here. I haven't ever painted, but it is gold.
A very, very deep gold, not a garish bright gold.
Not at all,
no. But that's one way.
That's one
Picture
way.
frames, I often see
frames,
people are quite confident with that romantic, soft style.
You could have small boxes that you decorated rather beautifully. That would be delightful, actually. That would be very pretty. Oh, I want to do one.
Yeah, let's.
That'd be nice.
In terms of curved furniture, so obviously a box is very different. The furniture in these films, in this style, in the Rococo style, they're very curved.
Very curved.
The wood is curved on the front of chests of drawers. The legs are curved on chairs. Yeah. Chairs are quite an easy way of bringing that in.
I would love to do chairs, and you do get quite a lot of old chairs like that.
Or reproduction styles.
Yeah, reproduction.
Which,
I wouldn't do a real Rococo one.
No, but painting a reproduction style, brilliant.
Absolutely, so many of them, and it can just be delicate, and then you rub back. I do that quite a lot, actually, in my house in France, and I rub back so that you've got a little bit of wear and tear, and it just gives it a little bit of texture. And I think that's delightful. And it doesn't look as though it's just been put in there and you've got it from a cheap shop.
No, exactly. I think we've hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah.
Whilst there will be some people that love that style, you could walk into a home and it would just be a bit sickly sweet.
Someone's going to write and tell us.
They are. We're going to be in trouble.
You're wrong. Look at my house, how beautiful it is.
And I'd love to see examples of that. Because the only examples I can think of are films.
Yes.
Or period properties, museums, books where you've seen this in as it was. I've never been into a modern day home, a lived-in home that really fully embraces that style.
Not fully embraces. I think you could have a really pretty piece like one of these bomb chests. They've got the sort of big fronts that sort of bulge out.
Love those ones.
They're really beautiful. Quite hard to get, but you can get hold of them. And you could do that in quite a strong colour, maybe with a bit of gold, and it could be in a bedroom. That could work very nicely, but I think... not sure what you do for the rest of the room. Maybe a bed head. You could have a beautiful bed head.
Bedheads. That's often you often get very Rococo style bedheads. Actually, that's another good example.
Ones. Yeah, but I think it's decorating that to make it not look like a boudoir.
No, exactly. But we will have people disagreeing, and I would love to see those examples.
And actually, if you want a really sexy boudoir,
go for it.
Why not?
One thing I was really inspired by whilst researching this is the fact that Walt Disney brought these items of furniture and, other ornamental things to life. And I've reflected on that, and maybe that's the angle we go to with giving painted furniture and things in your home personality. In a slightly different way. I'm not talking about making a candlestick talk and walk around and animate, but putting your own personality into the work. I think that's a subtle link, but one that I feel is worth talking about.
I think that's a very, very nice idea. Yeah. I think these pieces are very, very inspirational. I mean, I'm looking... The one I'm particularly liking at the moment is there's two I'm going to show you with elephant tusks, elephants, and strong colours and some pictures. I mean, they are, It may not be something you would have in your house, but something like it.
But you can take huge inspiration from that.
Yeah.
In terms of your decorating in your home, a piece of furniture you might be painting, a colour scheme. Not many people could pull that vase off in their home. Not many. Unless it was so crazy and out of place that it just worked.
Yeah. God, I'd love one, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I like that, the orangey, pinky one more than the green and the white one.
Yeah, I like the green colour better.
Yes.
But, yeah. Anyway, there's a load of stuff out there. Go look and be inspired, because I think you really, you need to. Mm-hmm. You need to do it.
And the next time you're watching a Disney film, look and remember this, because that's where it all came from.
Yeah.
Which is fascinating.
Yeah.
So pulling it back to the exhibition at the Met.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit more about that, because I didn't go. Did you?
I did not go. I could not go at that time. It was 2022.
Oh.
There's a big book come out about it. I would love to get hold of that book. I haven't been able to yet. But there's quite a lot of pictures and images and writing about it, a lot of reviews about it. So it's a good idea to start looking for that, because it's a seminal work, I think.
And there's some great press behind it. I've seen trailers on YouTube and great voiceovers. I think it was the voice of Mrs. Potts from Beauty and the Beast or something. It was a familiar voice, and that's the one that came to mind. But everything I've seen has been done very, very well.
Yes.
And quite an inspiring thing to look at, even, online or in a book.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's, I would say, a great American heritage.
It is. Now we have our Ask Annie question, so let's hear it, Vincent.
All right, Annie. All right, Tristan. You've got gold paint and gold leaf in your range. How am I supposed to know which one to use?
Wow, well, that is...
relevant for today with the gold. That's great.
It is. It's a good question for gold. So, it is a funny thing. I always love gold leaf because it is... Actually, it's very rococo. That would work very well on sort of curved and carved pieces. And I think it's about the level of shine and how real you want it to be. So if you want it to look like an old frame that's been gilded, I would use leaf.
And a much more fun process.
And it's quite fun,
messy,
very
just brilliant. You feel like a real superstar doing gold leaf.
And then afterwards you put clear and put dark wax on it, and that really gives it a gorgeous colour. However...
And would look more rococo.
It would look... It would.
Authentic.
It would. Yeah. Would you agree?
Absolutely. Yeah.
But we do use it for lots of other things. The other thing you could do is use the actual gold sort of paint I have. I think it's wonderful to hand paint, to rub, so that you get sort of a thin version of it. Do you agree?
I completely agree. Yeah, it's not as shiny as the leaf. So for me, it's always about that level of shine. Yeah. The paint is easier to flow and have control. So if you're doing a hand-painted piece, you can use the paint brilliantly for that.
So you could combine it, couldn't you?
With
you could
the
have
paints.
A design
yes.
with sort of blue dots and then follow that with little gold
dots. Or a line of gold or a wiggly line of gold, which might be quite hard to do with the gold size, which is the glue. But possible, but I think you've summed it up. It's exactly what you're after.
And on carving, actually both would be fine. So I'm sorry I'm not giving you an answer, but there isn't really one.
No.
And I think you just have to trust your whatever you feel.
Yeah. They're both brilliant products.
They are.
They both have quite a different look. You've just got to look at what they both do and work out for that piece you're working on what is the best, I guess.
Yeah. Of course, the danger is with the paint, you get it on your finger and you walk around just putting it everywhere.
Yes, to highlight all the carvings.
Everywhere.
It is addictive.
Yeah, nose,
absolutely.
eyes.
Yeah, face paint, why not? Actually, don't do that at home. We're not suggesting, no. Well, that is it for another episode. So thank you to everyone for listening. And until next time, paint everything.